Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting, and I am your Dragon Slayer Crone and Word Witch on Three Crones in the Woo Woo here. To my side, we have Miss Krista Ducharme, our traveling crystal crone, who is right now setting down roots in the Northeast, and she is with Dimensional Healing with Krista. Thank you so much for joining me again today, Krista. This was a difficult week for me. How about for you?
It has been a slog. I don't know. It has been one of those weeks. Energetically, it feels like that I am underwater trying to move. And I wear a Fitbit. I don't know if you do or if any of our viewers wear Fitbits, and we have it so that it monitors our sleep as well as our steps and a variety of other things. But essentially, we really try to monitor our sleep because we're trying to break bad or old sleep patterns that being in the military has created for us. And so here it is, we're working on this, and my Fitbit says I am sleeping amazing. However, I get out of bed and it's like, okay, can I get back in bed now? I really want to go back to bed. Even though I know that I slept well, I know that I slept soundly, and then my body, it feels, and of course we can go with it's this is all a menopause thing. However, no, this is not. So for all those women who are in perimenopause, menopause, and you have that muscular skeletal syndrome, which, essentially is your whole body hurts. Yeah, no, this is because of what's going on upstairs. Well, not upstairs, but, above in the sky. Sorry, my camera is like zooming in, zooming out, and refocusing. So for those who might be thinking that's my camera's doing it all by itself, and I don't know why.
It doesn't look as distracting on this end of it as it might to you.
Oh, excellent. Because
it's not good. Like anybody's going woo woo.
But it's been hard. So trying to get things done and trying to stay focused has been very interesting. I don't know. How about what has it been with you?
It's just been surprise busy kind of thing.
Okay.
And dealing with the normal what you would normally expect as a Mercury retrograde, like the breakdowns in communication, the breakdowns in technology. Oh my God, you should have seen me trying to prep the show today. What usually takes 20 minutes to an hour took like almost 3. It was, I lost an entire template at one point. It was, it was one of those moments where you look at the person next to you that's doing absolutely nothing wrong and completely normal and go, would you please just leave me alone for just a minute? This is pissing me off and I don't want to eat your head.
Yes, I do. I do know.
That strange little unknowing little sound you made just inspired instant rage in me, and you don't deserve it. So please save yourself. Leave,
move,
leave now. So it was like one of those moments. And today, or actually yesterday, Mercury in retrograde passed over from Venus, which is all about like love and in orderly fashion things, right? So you've got breakdowns in communication, but there's a logic to it.
Yes.
Right? And now today you've got the breakdown in communication going, ha, look what I can do. So me and my nemesis Mercury are going round and round again today. But so far actually not so bad. I mean, life is at an upper level to what I had been doing. I was given an opportunity to do something really, really cool. And that is to return to Michigan once again this week and pick up my grandson to bring him back to Vermont to spend the weekend with me and his Aunt Marge, my sister, in Bennington, Vermont, celebrating Battle Day.
Yeah.
And then when that's over, I get to bring him back here again to Michigan again next week. So I'll be doing the show next week, weather permitting, from the same charming little grotto in Clinton Township. And in the meantime, we're going to be celebrating the 247th anniversary of one of the battles that would really turn the tides for the American Revolution and allow America to start gaining ground and actually end up winning that conflict. So once again, all of this ties back into what we have been working on here at Three Crones since the book was with us last year, and the Pluto return of the Declaration of Independence, the founding of this country. And I get the privilege this weekend of passing along all of this celebratory information about history to an 8-year-old who loves history.
Yes.
So I am so excited. It's, like I said, it's going to be like living at a totally another level, because I haven't had an 8-year-old in the house for a week in 30 years, 25 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of driving involved, but we have had wonderful travel mercies. We have fabulous weather. It has been absolutely stellar so far. So thanks to everybody who's been praying for us all the way along. And we're really excited about, what's coming up over the next couple of weeks.
That's excellent.
To put the cherry on the top, I get to take the Dalmatian home with me to Vermont for the weekend as well. So.
Oh, so you also get to have a puppy for a bit.
That's right. And he is, puppy energy for sure.
Oh,
I love him to bits. He's such a cuddle bug. So there's a lot going on this week coming up, especially for me, a lot going on with the planets and stuff. Let's check in and see who's joining us so far. Hello to everybody who's here. Oh my goodness. So there's Sue. Sue, can you update me? Do you see us now? We should be live on YouTube. Both
Sorry.
No worries. Both on Three Crones and the Three Crones and the Woo Woo on YouTube channel, as well as my personal channel at Gayle Nicholson on YouTube, and my Facebook site, my personal page. For some reason, even to this date now, Facebook groups, they're not Facebook, and YouTube and StreamYard are just not all on the same page. So we're no longer able to broadcast directly into the Three Crones and the Woo Woo group. But we're going to see about what that's going to entail for doing it to the page going forward.
Yes. I think that part of our challenge is that we have to have over 100 followers on our actual Facebook page. So I'm glad you brought that up. Well, we have everybody here, and I've been meaning to do this because I have now had a few people ask questions. What's the difference between our Facebook page and our Facebook group? So our Facebook page is our legitimate official business or podcast page, right? Our Facebook group is like our social page. So we need to know one. Just because you like one doesn't mean you automatically like the other, because the way it's created is they're separate. They are not together. So no, you need to like both of them. I'm going to be working on actually educating everybody. So if you don't like our business side, which is the official page, I'm going to create it so that there's a distinction between both of them. I thought I did by putting group. However, a few people have noticed that they don't see the difference. So I need to create a visual difference. And
absolutely.
So I'm like, all righty, I need to be doing this. I'll do that later. There are two different pages. And once we get over, and believe it or not, we've been like sitting at 93, I think it is. So we're for like ever. It's like, folks, literally, if you're a friend on the Facebook group, just pop over to Facebook page, which is, it's still 3 Crones in the woo woo. You're going to get one that has like 3 little people in a circle. And then you're going to get that pops up, which means it's a group. And then the other one will have like a square. And that's the page.
Yes.
And that's
planted our flag.
Yes. So just go over and make sure that you're friends on our Facebook page. Because once we get over 100 on our Facebook page, then we can start doing all these other links and all this other stuff. And at least, yeah. We don't write the rules, folks. We really don't. That's all.
We can barely keep up with them.
Okay. Yeah, that is the truth. Tracy and I just did a mini online webinar last week about social media and advertising on social media and how to do it effectively. And the big thing is okay, so last year the algorithms were this year the algorithms are this, and it's like, okay, thank you, I really appreciate this.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah,
lots going for us to have a little bit more of a presence over on TikTok as well. And I gotta say, TikTok, in my experience, though I haven't really tested it out thoroughly and deeply yet, they at least have like alerts going, this is what you could do next to expand your business, or do this collaboration, or here's a way that you can monetize, or and there's a little bit more of less of a minefield feel about it.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna put out there what I think will work because I really don't have a whole lot of guidance, and then it gets kicked back with, you can't do that, or it doesn't get seen by anybody.
Yeah.
Without any, you need to do this differently, or you need to stop doing this. Because I'm a ditzy blonde when it comes to some things. I mean, for the most part, I can be very intelligent, very clever, and very creative. However, that doesn't necessarily fit in the jigsaw puzzle of how to market on Facebook.
Or yeah, and a lot of the social media, that's why people, I mean, literally people, that's their whole livelihood, is learning and understanding how to do web marketing, whether it is, Facebook,
and good social
Instagram.
Media managers make a good money.
Oh yeah, they really do. And so I've been learning a lot more because I'm helping Tracy with her adventure, and I'm going to be helping Mom further with hers. And so it's like, and I'm helping, which in turn will help us with ours.
Yep.
So yeah,
rise all ships, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, so it'll be very exciting. But yeah, this weekend you guys are having a big thing in Bennington, and it seems like where Tracy sets up with Magic Hat, we're having some really big events, if you will, as well. So nice. One of the big events, I'm going to announce it because it will affect us here at 3 Crones.
Okay.
Is on Sunday, or actually probably Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be at Smith's Blueberry Farm in New Ipswich on Saturday, and the Lunenburg Artisan Market on Sunday. And I'm setting up to do the Crystal of the Week pulls for 2025.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm going to have one market pull 6 months, and another in the other market pull the other 6 months.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
Yep. So people, if you are watching and you want to be part of this, and I will be asking people permission to take their names, because I want that energy to perpetuate and to roll forward with us for 2025 as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to be doing that. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun for us, and it's a different way. Initially I was just going to get everybody locally around the house and everything, hey, come over and help pull. But then Tracy said, why don't we set up and you do it? And Mom's like, oh, let's do it. So do it. So on Saturday they do 6 months, and on Sunday they do 6 months. I'm like, oh, I like that energy.
Mhm.
So it feels really good. And this is a good time to be doing it because it is a retrograde, which is something you revisit, which is, you redo. And so this is something that we
Yeah,
have to redo every year.
absolutely. I love it. I love it. That'll be so exciting. I
Yeah.
would love if you got a little bit of it like on video too.
I am. I'm going to work on trying to have that on video. We'll see if my tech department, that's Greg. He's been really into helping us technically recently. So if he isn't working, I will be dragging him along and being like, come on, you need to come and help me do this.
Nice.
So,
How's he
yeah.
doing on the job search? He passed that test, right?
Yes, he did. He actually, so now he is a certified, what is it, CompTIA, which is he's certified in IT and security.
Nice.
Yeah, so all computer related and cybersecurity. That's the word. Oh boy, buffering. So he's certified in doing all that, and so he was hired for to work at Best Buy, and actually he just filled out his paperwork
Okay.
in any case. And so he's just waiting and to go up and give them his identification to fill out the W9I9, whatever that form is.
Congratulations to Greg. That's really great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's not what he wants exactly. However, he's like, it's going to help me pay bills. And I'm like, that's what you need to do sometimes. It's just pay bills.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the required experience that the jobs with the golden handcuffs want.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, but no, he's doing really well. But he, and since we have to set up actually everything you see, I can thank him. He has helped me set this up. Since we're setting up our office space again, I'm actually using his chair.
I do got to say, I absolutely love that you don't have windows behind you and that the lighting is it's right there, and I'm not getting a whole lot of glare off your glasses unless you nod your head a certain way.
Yes. And I keep trying.
Well done.
Yeah, I keep trying to work that. Well, and I think I'll adjust the lighting still a bit more. But yeah, so we've been doing theater magic this morning, and he's all excited, and he's like, Mom, we need to do this. And it still will require adjusting because I will be getting a new desk. So this is just a temporary fix at the moment.
A temporary fix. That makes sense. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, let's start talking about like what's going on in the heavens today, because there's some interesting stuff up there.
Oh, alrighty. Yes.
Here we go. All right. Awesome. So I know that went by really, really fast, but what there is to be concerned about this week, first of all, is Sun is in Leo, new moon is in Sagittarius. So right off the top, what that tells me is, first of all, we've got this energy of this, hey, look at me, look what I can do. And then we've got this emotional tenor behind us of new beginnings, ramping up, building momentum. And Sagittarius, the archer, is known for delivering an explosive trajectory, right? They burn fast and hot, and they burn out quickly. So now is the time to literally strike while the iron is hot anywhere that you want to be seen in life. All right. And that'll go on for the next 2 days until we move into the next sign. Also, Mars is conjunct Jupiter. Again, remember we were talking earlier about this insta rage? Boom. That's that. Okay. That's what's going on up in the heavens. That's not reality. Manage your emotions. Communicate what you're feeling. Like I mentioned earlier, if what you need to do is to say, I'm getting really tense about this here, and I don't want to take it out on you. Could you move away for a minute? No one is going to look at you poorly for doing such a thing. In fact, they'll probably come back and say, thank you for not biting my head off because it wasn't my fault. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Now, another thing to take into consideration is Mercury in retrograde yesterday moved from Virgo into Leo. So, where we were having communication issues around order and possibly even love, there was some logic to them then. Right now, it's more of a matter of the breakdowns are on display, right? Like wherever that miscommunication is going awry, it's going to be, look at me, look what I can do. And
Yeah.
it's not necessarily going to be a great thing. Okay. So get with your friends. It's a great time to connect with old friends, Mercury retrograde,
Mhm.
stepping out of Venus into Leo. But definitely, hey, how's it been? How have you been doing for the last 10, 20, 30 years? Who knows how long? Reconnecting and showing off what you've accomplished in life. Great time for doing that. Also, plan adventurous activities to do together. Nobody wants to sit around the front porch doing absolutely nothing. Grab the basketball, play a little 2-on-2, something like that, or go for a hike together. Whatever is the kind of adventure that you would like to experience with good old friends. Do be careful though when it comes to any kind of business agreements where there are shared assets or shared funding involved. Again, be careful with Mercury retrograde. Those
Yeah.
communications, those technology issues, there's a higher chance for things to collapse right now. So don't take any action in those areas, even if you do revisit it to see what's up now and should this be adjusted after Mercury goes direct again. All right. Make a lot of sense. You want to add anything to that, my dear?
I actually do. No, that makes perfect sense for what's going on. A couple of other things to keep in mind. We have been getting solar flares and
Mm-hmm.
lots of energy, beautiful aurora borealis because of it. And they've been melting down a little bit deeper than what usually is expected to be seen. However, that's part of what's draining us. That's part of the energy zapping, if you will. The other aspect is we still have these wonderful meteor showers, right?
Yes.
And
And it's
those meteor
right now.
showers have been either disturbing your slumber for some people, or where you actually know it's disturbing your slumber, or it has been it feels like you're even though you're sleeping, you've woken up like you've run a marathon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So because it is all about upgrades and the energy drain. It's utilizing that energy. I realize a lot of people look at me and they're like, "You're nuts if that's what you think that's all about." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm really not nuts, people. Watch what's going on." Because it all lines up. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's beautiful, and we've been out trying to chase, actually seeing the aurora borealis as well as the meteor showers. We think we saw a couple of zooms last night from the meteor showers. However, the aurora borealis, we had this cloud bank that
Mm.
just it came in from the north, which covered up that. And I was like, okay, I need to go to bed.
I've been so frustrated because in Vermont it's been rainy and cloudy
Yeah.
for the last couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
and then the first night that it was going to be clear, was it last night? Yeah. Well, no, not last night. It was the night before.
Yep.
I had to get to bed at a reasonable hour because I had to get up to travel at like 4:00 in the morning. And I was really hoping that I would be able to see some shooting stars. I wanted to like leave the house before the sun started to rise.
Yeah.
It starts to rise so freaking early that by the time I got on the road and headed out by 5:30, it was already beginning to get light out.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed out. And then last night, it was beautiful and it was clear here in Michigan. I
Yeah.
was so exhausted. I was asleep by 10 o'clock, and we're in the city here, so it's not so easy to see as it is at home
Yeah.
in Bennington. But yeah, I absolutely adore the Perseid meteor showers. I really
Yeah.
do. Every year. And then there's another one that happens, maybe it's the Geminids that are in the middle of December.
Yeah, I know there's another one. And for me, that one,
Or
like
the
almost
Orionids.
everywhere I've lived, it's
Mm-hmm.
been hard for me to see those ones, essentially because it's been cloud cover.
Yeah.
Always
There,
that
there
time of
was
year.
one year that I was so, what a privilege. I went to go visit Mandy in North Carolina at Camp Lejeune
Yeah.
for Christmas, but a couple of weeks early because I cannot do airports on Thanksgiving or Christmas. It just no. There's
Yeah.
too many people around that are not having a good day, and it
Yes.
really seriously impacts me. And I don't need to volunteer for that. But at any rate, so I went early, and I was flying back December 12th, and I saw at least 36 shooting stars from above the clouds.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh. If you ever have a chance to fly cross country on a
Yes.
red eye during, any meteor shower, really,
Yep.
it's a treat that you probably never thought of seeing coming, but
Yeah.
it's so amazing. All right. So my dear Miss Krista, are you ready for this?
I am. Let's rock.
For
real. All righty. So it's kind of funny that, of course, you've been talking a lot about communication and your in your whole experience this morning of being wise enough. By the way, that took self-awareness and wisdom for you to actually say what you said to the person sitting next to you. So I want to, definitely hats off and applause, because I have been on the receiving end, and then an apology after. I don't know where that came from. I am so terribly sorry. And it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I don't know where it came from either, but thank you for the apology. So it is all about communication. And I do find that lately, especially in anytime I think Mercury retrograde shows up during Leo anyway, because Leo is such a roar, the whole lion type of energy, communication is always like that. There are certain signs that when Mercury goes in retrograde, or if Mercury is in that particular sign, because it's about communication, that you really can see the intensity of the sun's, that sign. So in any case, so back to the crystal of the week, it is Amazonite. And the reason why I'm going on about the communication aspect is because it is all about the heart and the throat. This one relates to the heart chakra and the throat chakra, and it does it in as one. It doesn't view it as separate. It views it as the total communicator. And so the really cool thing is it helps us with that softening. Like I have Amazonite on right now, both, and this is actually a mala that I made, and then earrings. And I thought I brought it down, but I guess I left it upstairs. I had an Amazonite crystal that I was going to show you guys as well, but I left it upstairs. But yeah, it is about communication, but it's about your genuine communication, and you do it with a level of that compassion. You do it. And so remember, communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you hear. So if you find that you've been saying a lot of things and people have been misunderstanding you, Amazonite is going to be here to say, why don't you close your mouth for a little while, Ask the questions and listen. And listen from a point of compassion. Listen from a point of, I don't need to be right. I need to understand. And by doing so, here's the other part that I love about Amazonite is it opens opportunities. And you never know what that opportunity is going to be. And it's really funny when Gayle messaged me this morning. She's like, "What's the crystal of the week?" And I said, "Oh shit, what is the crystal of the week?"
You know what's horrible is that I've got my calendar
Yeah.
on my fridge, right?
Yeah.
And I went through and I wrote down every crystal of the week on every Tuesday it belongs to for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And behind that sheet, I have the sheet that's got the entire breakdown of all the crystals. And they are still, at this very moment, magnetized to my fridge 1,000 miles away.
That no, and it is, and it's so funny. So I pull up my Canva because I haven't even gotten to the point where I printed it because I knew I was going to be moving and in transition and all this, and all this crazy stuff, right? So it happens, people. It does. This happens. So I pull up my Canva calendar, and I go, "Oh, this is the crystal of the week," and I said it's Amazonite. And the moment that I said it's Amazonite, the word opportunity is what came through. And I was like, oh yes, this makes perfect sense. And then I went because I wanted to double check some really interesting I wanted to dig a little deeper because I think it's always an important thing. One, Amazonite is related to the zodiac Virgo, which I think is highly interesting as well, because we just transitioned with the Mercury retrograde out of Virgo, but yet we're going to be going into Virgo here in a week or so. Well, a little over
22nd, 21st.
Yeah, 22nd.
Yeah, so less than 7 days.
Yeah. So, and I thought, that's really interesting. The other one that I thought was really interesting that Amazonite corresponds with is Uranus or Uranus, depending upon how you would like to say it. And for me, I thought that was a very interesting correlation as well. But the aspect that I kept reading also was about the communication, and communication also goes hand in hand with what our number of the day is. I'm going to kind of go into that. It's number 2, right? I did my math right?
That is correct. Yes,
it is 2, correct. Right? I mathed right.
You mathed right.
That's been real. That has been a real thing the last few days. We're trying, Tracy and I have been trying to math, and I'm like, gosh, usually I'm so much better at this. So
I just want to interrupt for just 1 second before you go to that of the day there. Uranus is in Taurus. Anticipate innovative changes and grounding shifts with retrograde on the horizon in September. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that in there because with the communication, with the heartfelt communication and triggering in Uranus along with that, I think that says a lot. Anticipate innovative changes and grounding shifts.
And it does. And that's why the word opportunity, I think, came back. Remember, opportunity can mean you can use that in a plethora of avenues in your life. And so coming up, the number 2. So 2 is partnership. And we were discussing partnership, right? And partnership it can be very, I don't want to say the word dicey, but it can be a little bit stressed when you're in a retrograde with Mercury, with the communication. And it's partnership in business, partnership in friendships, partnership in marriage, partnership, parent, child, parent, teacher. How many schools have already gotten started or already, or student, teacher. So remember, partnership covers a wide descriptor of different things. And with that, what I'm getting is it's all about the communication. It is all about the communication. And, you know, if we all took that time to listen, to ask a question and then to listen to the answer and not assume that we know the answer when we ask the question. Because how many times are you incorrect?
Right.
You know, and the you is whoever,
General.
right? I know that I'm very guilty. Sometimes I'll, especially when you're a mom, you know, that whole mom thing. Now that part you're not as wrong about as often as others, but
Well, you know, you bring up a good point, because especially other people as moms do
yeah,
something that I've never been able to do. And that was, no, this kid likes this and this kid will not eat that. And this kid, you know, this is their little quirk, right?
yeah,
And I have never been like that. And I noticed even today in the restaurant, I've got regulars that come in and order the same thing, but I make them tell me the same, you know, what they want every single time. I don't allow myself to assume what
that's
they're
it.
going to eat today based on what they've eaten every other Monday for the last 6 months.
Yeah,
You don't know.
yeah, yeah.
And
You know,
many times they will surprise you, you know, and kids, their taste buds change as they grow older,
mm-hmm,
right? You know,
mm-hmm.
no, you will not eat cauliflower. What the hell are you eating? Why are you eating cauliflower? You don't like cauliflower, right?
Well, this week I like cauliflower. That
Exactly.
was last
Well,
week. I didn't.
yeah, exactly. Freddie's mom puts salt on it. It's good that way. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah. You just so keep in mind that a lot of these things that come up. The other thing to I was listening to somebody else, a different podcaster or vlogcaster, which is what we do is vlogcasting, and he was mentioning that we frequently get, you know, when we get caught up in the past, we're trying to change it, right? And we get stuck in that cycle. Well, remember, part of these retrogrades is letting go of that cycle, because the past is the past. You can't change it. All you can do is, you know, ask questions, stay open to possibilities, and move forward. Right. And that is so much about what the communication is. That's so much too, as well, about the number 2 for today. Is it's about, you know, remembering that we have that ability to create to create healthy relationships, create healthy partnerships. We're not meant to be here and be alone in life. I know there are a lot of people like to say, well, I'm a lone wolf, or I like to do things on my own. And it's like, that's great. And that's all well and good. But really, we need each other to support one another. We all have strengths, we all have weaknesses. And that's kind of what a partnership, the partnerships we have in life, they're the ones that help shore us up. You know, at least that's the way I look at it.
Even lone wolves have a she wolf, or else their line dies. So, how much do you really want to do alone? I mean, literally, you could do that.
Oh yeah, go right
But
ahead
I'm
if that's what
guessing
you
that
want to do. But really,
wolfness has probably been a learned behavior out of being surrounded by people they couldn't depend on.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
they're just inexperienced with partnership. And that's my rabbit hole for the day.
So how about you come in and wrap this up with a bow, my friend?
There we go. Okay, well, let's talk. So Krista has pulled out of the rabbit hat today 2 instances of the duality of that goes into transformation. Okay, we got the heart and, you know, like the heartfelt communication, the heart and the throat, right? So there's 2 sides of that. There's the heart and the mind, which sometimes are not always in agreement, right? And there's that 2 of partnership, of having an other of you that helps you bridge the gap between you and something, you and them, you and goals, you and dreams, whatever the case may be, right? So we have this duality that, like Krista was saying, you can't really operate as a lone entity in this world, right? There's at some point you're going to need the support and the help of someone else, and that for that moment becomes a matter of partnership. You know, what do you each bring to the resolution of whatever problem is facing the two of you, right? Now, one of the things that we want to take very close look at before I go too far into that is that business partnership that we've been kind of warned about. Be cautious in this area right now. This is a really good area, like, to bring in what Krista just said about being willing to put your own righteousness, opinions, point of view aside for a second and ask questions that will elicit answers that you can listen to and hear.
Yes.
Right? Listening is and hearing are not necessarily the same thing, and sometimes you can do one and not do the other at all. But when you have that, again, duality of communication, right? The listening, the receiving the actual communication that's been sent, right? Then that makes complete communication between two people in partnership. See how all that works? And none of this can be done as a lone wolf entity on your own. That's not what this is for. Right now, this is all about going into partnership, saying, see what I can do to someone else, and watching them see what I can do back to you, so that together you can create something even larger, right? And that's the energy that's coming up right now for all of this, right? You don't have to do this alone. Go find those people that are the jigsaw pieces that need to surround you, right? You know how if you ever put together a jigsaw puzzle, you grab a certain area that looks like, that might be recognizable. And then you start finding all the little pieces that have a piece of that recognizable, maybe it's a flower in the image of the larger jigsaw puzzle. And you start putting those little pieces into place around the first piece that you went, that's going to be something. Okay. And once you have those jigsaw pieces around you, that partnership, that goal, that photo, that image of the flower starts to show up in its entirety. All right. And that's what we're building upon here right now. All right. Because don't forget, we're working into a new age of peer-to-peer power. All right. The mantle, or the structure, if you will, the infrastructure of the authority power from the top trickling down as far as the middlemen allow it to go. Never seems to reach the small folk. You know what I'm talking about. That is going away, right? That is phasing out. We can see it through social media. We can see it through what's happening now, even in the political climate, with the changes going on, and who's running, and who's the VP pick, and who's standing up behind these pieces or factions for the greater outcome that they see, wherever that may show up to be. All right. But right now is the time for us to be gathering our partners, and do be cautious anywhere that there was shared funding concerned or shared assets, because that's where that serious, heartfelt, authentic communication comes in. If we're going to partner to do this, what are each of our expectations? What is the profit split? What are each of us required to invest into this enterprise? What do we each bring to the table in this enterprise? Now is the time to be taking a look at those things, but not necessarily taking action on it. Right now, we are looking for information. We are looking for communication. We are looking for what are the clear expectations that once Mercury starts moving forward again, we can actually put down in writing and stick to, without the side effect fallout of contracts that have been entered into under Mercury retrograde without any consideration being given to you're trying to start a new venture. Um, it doesn't work that way. There's always going to end up being multiple revisions and revisitations necessary whenever you have a contract that's done under Mercury retrograde. So once again, be very, very careful about business arrangements or agreements at this time. But on a more personal note, get with your homies. Get with the people that you've known for a long time. Check in with old friends. See how they're doing. See how they're coming along in life. Allow them to show off to you about all of their accomplishments, and listen to that, and be that friend that cheers them on, going, "Yeah, you've done great," right? And where you fell short, anybody would have, right? So get together and do that type of reconnecting. Make some amazing adventurous plans. There's all kinds of carnivals and fairs and kayaking and fishing and summer sports to do out there, picnicking. Make some plans with people you haven't seen in a long time. Right?
Exactly. And I don't know about you, and it could be that we've just, because Kevin and I have been out of the country for so long, it just is like, but I really feel like this year that there's a lot of festivals, or in a lot of, there's a lot of things, a lot of different opportunities to go and actually do things, without much planning. It's really amazing.
I'm really grateful that we're back into more of a, let's go places where we can congregate with lots of people without the underlying fear. I mean, it's not like it's ever going to go away that we need to worry about making sure that our hands are washed and not getting in people's personal space, right?
Yeah.
That's just good manners.
It's good manners, and yeah, COVID is like the flu. It's now part of our life, and we just have to, just continue and move on.
Yeah. But the hope and the optimism, I think, is starting to return. We're not, like so overly concerned with it's not safe to be with other people anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. So yeah, it was kind of cool because this past weekend we were here, but the weekend prior we were in Allentown, and there was a music festival. It's like, oh my gosh, there's a music festival. We went down for the DCI, the Drum and Bugle Corps Internationals, and so I mean it was all about music, but it was so unexpected. And I think that's kind of, and that's really cool. That's really a cool thing that we keep experiencing wherever it is that we've been going. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So let's take a look at the card of the day.
Judgment.
I really didn't mean to leave that comment up there during that, but Judgment. And I love this card, Judgment, because it begs an explanation. This is not condemnation, all right? We, especially here in America, maybe even in England before us, seem to have collapsed the word discernment and what's the word I just said?
Judgment?
Condemnation. No.
Condemnation and discernment. Okay.
And condemnation, and we put them together and we call it judgment, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what a judge does, is he punishes you, right?
Yes.
Judgment. He passes judgment upon you. No, we're talking about your use of your wisdom, right?
Yes.
Your ability to look at a situation and go, this is good, this is not so good, and this is where I stand on this issue.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what's correct for me. Whether or not you do something differently, I don't have to concern myself with whether you're wrong about it. This is about me, right? This is where I'm at. So this is definitely a time to take a look at where you've been and where you're going, and give yourself permission to evolve. You don't always have to continue doing the thing that you've always done just because you've always done it and that's the way that you do things, right? It was very, very interesting that it was brought up today, separate from the situation where I told the person, I'm stressed about this and I don't want to bite your head off, so could you give me some space right now, right? Somebody else, it was actually the same person earlier, was talking about how I might like go off or overreact about it. And I looked at them and I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I don't do that anymore. I mean, I hit menopause. My give a damn is busted. Go fucking live your life. I don't give a shit.
Exactly. It's like, have fun.
I don't care. And I might get animated about something. I might get passionate about something, but I used to go off the rails about injustice before, and shit like that. And I'm not as volatile as I used to be. I'm not as highly triggerable as I used to be. I may have something sarcastic or snarky or petty or bitchy to say about it. But I'm not like, it's not that the big deal anymore, So again, that comes from that judgment, right? Used as discernment. Is this worth my time, breath, and attention? Fuck no. Get out of my face. It's not worth me arguing with you about. If you are so convinced of your side, I'm not going to be able to change your mind anyway.
That's it.
Don't bump your ass along the way.
Yeah. It's not my job to convince you to have a different approach or a different thought. All I can do is share my thoughts, and if you decide to change your mind, great. If you decide not to, great. Because either way, it's really not going to affect me because it's your thought, not mine.
Yes, exactly. And when you can step into that discernment level of judgment, right? And decide this is what's authentic to me, and does not concern me, right? You get access to conscious evolving, because then you can choose, I'm not going to do that behavior anymore. That doesn't add anything positive or constructive to my life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what this card of judgment is all about. Using your discernment to decide what is the things that you need to move up a level, right? It's not about anybody else. It's not about saying you're not doing the things that I'm doing, so you're below me. It's about what's working for me, what's not working for me, what can I cut out that's taking away from me so that I can advance more easily and evolve faster, smarter, more adaptable. Adaptability is the key to evolving, right?
Exactly.
It's all about adaptability. All right. So here's the affirmation that goes along with that card for today. Today's affirmation is, I answer the call to evolve, embracing transformation with courage and clarity. And again, we go back to that dual energy of transformation, clarity, and creativity. What the heck was that? I can't read it. Courage.
I'm like, I can't read it because it's not up on the screen.
Right. So that's essentially it for us today. Call somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time today. There's your assignment for this week. And just ask how they're doing.
Yeah.
And no matter how bad you want to jump in and go, oh yeah, and I did that too, and I did that too, and we're so much alike. Don't. Just listen. Just listen to their answers. All right. Thank you so much, Krista. Do you have any final words before we say goodbye to everybody?
No final words, but I will give a final opportunity. I'm going to be doing another crystal singing bowl this upcoming Monday for the full moon on the 19th. So if you are in the New England area and would like to join us, it is in New Ipswich at the Blueberry Farm. Once again, I can't wait to see what the creatures and critters have to say this time. They were very excited last time. Yeah, reach out and I will send you the link to Eventbrite. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So the people that are coming are creating already this beautiful energy. So I can't wait.
That's wonderful. I wish I could be there with you, but I will be with you in spirit. All righty.
Exactly. And I will appreciate that as well. Because you're gonna go and be the grandmother of the year.
No, me and Aunt Marge are gonna have a whole lot of fun with an 8-year-old kid who likes history. So bonus points for us. All right, everybody, have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that you share this out and like our Facebook page for 3 Crones in the Woo Woo, please. We need over 100. Share it out to your friends, and let's get us out there and change the world. Love you all. Bye.